Plastic waste, housing, flood defence, or flood, should I sort of say, three of the biggest problems facing the world today. We've got a solution for it. What we do is we take the plastic and we make it into walls, roofs, floors, as you can see here. Essentially, sort of, what we've done is we've invented, patented, and are now building a system that is usable around the world with the raw material that is around the world, which is waste polystyrene. To sort of say you can't reinvent the wheel, which is probably sort of true, but as you sort of say, we've reinvented the wall.
Thanks for that. Lovely idea. What proportion of waste plastic are you able to recycle?
That's 100% waste polystyrene. That is coat hangers, flower pots, etc. And that is the white packaging and also the inside lining of fridges and freezers.
Sorry, it was probably my lack of clarity in the question. Of the total plastic waste, what proportion are you able to use for this product?
Well, we use polystyrene. Okay, there is 17 million tonnes produced globally. It is going to increase slightly over the next 10 years. Of that polystyrene, which is used for insulation, it's used for fridge linings, it's used for flower pots, it's used for that sort of thing. There's a very small portion of it reused because it's classed as a low-grade material.
Thank you.
But it's actually a fantastic building material. That will take 5.5 tonnes before it cracks.
With regards to the manufacturing, do you have that in-house? Do you have your own factory, or do you have to subcontract that out?
At the minute we have extruded forest by a company in Worcester, but we fabricate i.e. so we will have solids, flooring, everything else in here. We do that in the northeast.
Just funnily enough, you touched on there obviously what you're doing in Worcester at the moment. I'm just keen to know, because it's obviously the only pattern building system in the world, what kind of potential is there for international activity that you're not doing already?
Well, the minute we sort of took the patent sounds, which covers for Europe, USA, China. We have it granted in Europe, we have it granted in USA, and we wait for the Chinese patent to come through. We took the attitude of it's a bit like the Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. So we've got to build it in the northeast, we've got to show how it works,
yeah. And
then we either license it or we take it out to the world and sort of say, look, this is what how to build stuff. What I should sort of say is the name, as you probably guessed, is maybe backwards, but really what it is, it's IKEA, because what this does is it's L shapes, block shapes, it packs away very neatly. So all you do is add air, so we can fit enough material in this. Our dream is to sort of be building houses in sub-Saharan Africa. That's one of our dreams, because the skills involved are very, very small, and you can fit enough material in this to go build a 7-foot wall around a football pitch from a 40-foot container. That's what we can do.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Liam Parker and I'm the founder of the safest dating app in the world called Safe Date. Online dating crimes are rising at just a horrendous rate. 92 million was lost to romance fraud in the UK alone last year. And worse than fraud, people are being abused every day, they're being stalked, they're being attacked, raped and even murdered at the hands of people in the online. And dating apps do nothing at all to protect their customers. I actually met my attacker on a very well-known dating app, and despite him being on the sex offenders register for life, there's nothing to stop him from going back to online dating when he gets out of prison next year, and I believe it has to change. I set up Safer Date to revolutionise the industry and to protect people. It's the only dating app in the entire world that does mandatory ID checks and global criminal background checks to eliminate anonymity, fake profiles, catfishing criminals from the very start. The online dating industry turned over £230 million in the UK last year. It's a huge industry and it's grown year on year. Our target market is phenomenal, and no other dating app has the same safety and security as what we do. And I'm really proud to say that our dating app launched on the 1st of December and we've already had 9,000 downloads since then. We're actually currently going through an investment round right now, so if anybody's interested, please let me know.
Thanks for sharing that. And So the kind of question is, why do you think the existing dating apps aren't putting more attention on this challenge?
Firstly, there's no legal standard at all for the dating industry, so they don't have to, and they're making billions of dollars worldwide, so why should they bother? They're all about making money, and you know, I mean, Tinder's announced that they're going to start partnering with this company called Garbo. It's all smoke and mirrors, it's only US based, it's only public information, and it actually makes the problem worse because they still don't do the ID checks, so people will be doing background checks on fake profiles, so actually people will be going up on dates thinking they're safe when they're not. So yeah, they don't care, they're not ethical companies, and they just care about making the money at the end of the day.
Just staying on the theme of the money, what were the factors, what did you consider when you pulled together your pricing of $39.99 for a membership for a month?
We looked across the board at premium apps, and we're actually changing the pricing at the moment. Initially we actually had it at £50 a month, payable for 3 months, payable up front, because the background checks cost us over £100 each, which is obviously quite a big outlay for every customer. And we've actually just done a deal as of today, whereby actually the intelligence agency that we work with, who've got unparalleled expertise, they're actually now dropping the background checks down to just £15 each for us in exchange for some equity in the company. So the actual price point was based across the market. Premium apps tend to cost between £30 and up to £90 a month, and at the minute ours is just $19.99 a month. So we're very competitive, but nobody else does the same checks we do.
Thank you.
Just in terms of the security of your customers, naturally they'll be using your app ultimately to feel that peace of mind, obviously in terms of communicating with people they've never met before, as you say, then going to meet them. Obviously you've got everything implemented there in terms of all the checks, everything like that. If, say in an instance, there was a situation whereby essentially an activity took place whereby the authorities needed to be put in place, is there anything kind of triggered within the system in order to alert people of that?
We've got safety built into the app all throughout it. You know, we've got a very thorough reporting procedure in place. We're currently implementing an automation sort of piece of software that looks for derogatory terms and anything like that. Unlike other dating apps, if somebody did go on to offend, we identify everybody, we've got all of the information, so we can pass all of that information on to the authorities. I mean, I don't know if anybody saw the Dating's Dangerous Secrets documentary. There was a 17-year-old girl on there and she was sexually assaulted. She reported it to Tinder. 9 months it took them to respond, and then their response was to block her and then delete all the correspondence between her and her attacker so she couldn't take it to the police. We're the absolute opposite of that.
Do you know that the point of sales marketing in the UK consists of 15% of the global market, valuated at over $81.6 billion in the world, and a compound growth rate at 14% each year. And 80% of the merchants in the UK are using outdated systems and paying for expensive fragmented softwares for their operations. I'm Eric, founder of Spark, and a hospitality tech company based in Newcastle. Our technology allows business owners to manage every aspect of their business, from order to payments, marketing automation to CRM system, and in one clever smart platform. And in the emerging trend of IoT business 4.0, and Spark easily combat the current challenge caused by the pandemic. For example, high labor cost and staff shortages. Our revenue is generated by our SaaS model and our hardware sales and payment commissions. Here today, our Spark Pay payments terminals will have over 5 million transactions and 3.5 million transactions done through our very own Spark Pay, over 250,000 transactions. And we invite all the possible talents to join our exciting journeys and possibly B2B collaborations and investment opportunity. Thank you. That's just an example of our robotic ordering in the actual Expo. That's taking from these customer to seats, taking orders, visual upsells, taking payments, and sending order to the kitchen, as well as go back to its greeting point.
How modular is the proposition in terms of being able to adapt to different existing implementations?
I think we are starting with a point of sale system and go beyond as point of sale system. All the modules that there are all modular. And mainly we're selling our solution as all-in-one cloud package, eliminates the extra or needs to integrate with third party, with data inaccuracy, etc. So we have 9 main products out in the market at the moment, and you know, they can be modular add-on from the point of sale.
Looking at it from a business owner's perspective, I understand what you're saying about the lack of staff. How do you overcome the human connection of kind of a server would be able to make recommendations, maybe to hook sell, and maybe, you know, if you didn't want that dessert, they might just target you into having that dessert, which is bottom line for the business. How does that work with the contact list?
Sure, I think it's down to the specific business types. If we're looking for go to a Michelin star dining, you're not expecting a kiosk and a dining robot to help you, you know, taking orders. But if you're going for Burger Kings, you've seen the widely roll out all over McDonald's, Burger King's kiosk, save labor cost for the business, and this type of business is in need for a kiosk, and there is a, you know, minimal social interaction needed in that kind of like sort of like dining. So I think it's down to the different businesses, and it doesn't, obviously it doesn't fit at all, but it certainly resolves certain challenges posed by COVID-19 and shortage of staff in the industry and the rising rate of the minimum wage.
And just in terms of the concept going forwards, in terms of growth plans, is the capacity to advance on the services that the equipment provides already, in terms of what it does? So in terms of hospitality, say for example, obviously the customer utilises it, they pay for the goods, they receive, etc. Is there any kind of advancement on that technology down the line potentially?
Yeah, sure. I think that is just a short demo on our newest kind of like integration with the robotics. But in terms of robotics and IoT 4.0 for business, we think there is a lot of potentials, and especially how we build the products ourselves. We are thinking about potentially another 2 robotics can be coming to the place into the operation. For example, do you have a reservation? Has the reservation being done online, and robot can grade you, leads you to the seats, and that eliminates human sort of like, you know, context. And the other one is sort of like, you know, you're often in a restaurant dining and there's someone come along over 5 minutes, is everything okay? Just standard routine check. Robot can do that, you know, so the KDS, the food being served for 5 minutes, robot will be set off to check is everything okay. If it's okay, press it yes. If not, then calling a waiter, waitress coming over. So really the essence of, you know, kind of like IoT using smart hospitality is to help eliminate the repetitiveness of the human, rather than kind of like, you know, if you call a waiter, waitress over, still the social element is there, you know, but, you know, I think at the moment, the robots adding to the hospitality, the extra novelty, and we are looking into potential other rollout for different scenarios, robotics and smart payment, ordering solution into smart hospitality as in general.
Brilliant, thank you.